If you make $1 million a year and you hold out $800,000, $999,000,
You ain't got it.
you ain't got that. But if a person making $30,000 a year, got their house paid for, ain't got no car note, and they only paying minor bills, making $500 to $1,000 a month.
They making more than that.
They making way more.
Yeah.
People mindset, they look at substance like, oh man, they doing good. Okay, it's hard to maintain a lot of stuff.
I said, young brother this week, he said Sylvester Jackson.
See him?
Yeah, he drive a truck.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah, he crazy. Yeah, I seen him he was this past week. Yeah, he had his own little company, truck company.
Yeah, see him. See him being too
Yeah.
I love you like I love myself.
So, yeah.
Y'all, we're gonna get started. Face the ruler.
Shalom, house of Israel.
Shalom.
Peace.
Peace. We thank the Almighty God, able to come out to worship on the Sabbath in spirit and truth, amen.
Amen.
Amen. The open scripture coming today from Psalms 23, read verse 1 through 6. As I read, let the Spirit speak to your hearts. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He made me lie down in green pastures. He lead me beside still waters. He restored my soul. He lead me in the paths of righteousness for my name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou appoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We thank the Almighty for His holy word. Amen.
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 Amen. I'd like to say happy Sabbath to everybody.
Happy Sabbath.
It's a great day to be here on the Lord's Sabbath day. And we still continuing our Black history for Israel, understanding who we are as a nation by the curses, by the color. And today we're going to deal with the topic of the topic is Black history told by the prophets. Servants, obey your masters. Servants, obey your masters. And we can switch it up for us to know what's going on in Israel, that we are the slaves in this land. Slaves in this land. But we have a big problem in the world. The big problem is we don't understand how to fit in the world as a black nation. Or we know we are the Israelites, or the children of Israel in the Bible. And when we don't understand how to fit in this world, 9 times out of 10 we get hurt very bad. Or we get persecuted very, very bad. Whatever it is, we get the rough end of the stick. But this lesson is trying to show us how to act in our enemy's land, which is the Europeans or the Gentiles or our slave masters, for the ones that really understand. You got to understand that this world, or this country that we in, the United States, was set up on their forefathers. They wrote the United States Constitution to fit their children. They didn't write it for us. In the United States Constitution, we are still 3/5 of a man, or 3/8 of a man, or something like that. 3/5 of a man. And they won't take that off. Every so, I forgot how many years they had to go back and redo the voters' right for us. Every so many years or whatever, they had to go back and say that black folks can vote again. So we got to understand that this is not our land. This is not our land. We just here for a punishment. But God will be with us in this land, and He will help us through all this trouble. And we follow the laws. That's the problem in this world right now. That most of us, our children, don't understand how to walk in this world. And believe me, when we steal, we get the max punishment. When we kill, we get the max punishment on everything. It's no coincidence that it happened to us. It's designed out of these scriptures of the book to let us know why this is happening. He showed us in the book, but most of the leaders that stand in pulpits, or presidents of the United States, or presidents of anything, they never tell us who we are and how we should operate amongst this nation. And that's how we fall. That's how we fall a lot of time. And it hurts my heart to see our young brothers and older brothers and sisters out there getting punished so hard. Just be quiet and obey. A lot of times you can calm this whole situation down if you just be quiet and close your mouth. And you see it all the time when it starts out with a police officer or a person, or a person that was in authority. scary for me. You ain't being hard-headed, not putting these batteries in. Never read it now. But this lesson just designs for us to understand how to step in this world, or how to operate amongst our slave masters, or the people that's over us, because we don't write no laws. There ain't one law we wrote in this land. Anybody wrote in this land. We can suggest some stuff, but they have the right, the white people that's over us. So we're going to turn in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1, to understand how to help our children, and most of all, how to help us. But I want to show y'all a short video of what's going on with us in the world. It's a little 90-second video. I hope it play. And this is stuff that's going on with us in the world, with our people. Police brutality. Y'all remember Eric Garner? He was out there selling loose cigarettes, but it was a law there. They don't want you to sell them. Michael Brown. This is all the things that we're going through, but none of our leaders will educate us on how to be safe in this land. A lot of people think we don't supposed to talk about this. Just imagine that's your son or daughter being killed. You want somebody to talk about it then? Oh, it's important now. We need to talk about this now. Walter Scott running away, unarmed man, she got shot in the back. He got off. Freddie Gray. Police put him in the back of a patrol car. He was already dead on the spot. All that riding, it don't do nothing, y'all. All it does is pull us back, keep pulling us back. Well, this lesson is put together to make us understand how to obey our slave master, or the people that God put over us. Ephesians chapter 6, and we start with verse 1. You get it, brother? Go ahead.
Children, obey your parents in the Lord,
Yes, sir.
for this is right. Honor thy father and mother,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first commandment with promise.
Everybody got a boss. He said, children, obey your parents unto the Lord. The children gotta obey. Just as well as the fathers and mothers got a boss too. They gotta obey God and the Father. A father and the son. Everybody got a boss. Go ahead.
That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
That's addressed to the children. Believe me, if you don't honor your father and mother, your days on the earth are going to be short. And a lot of times, when young guys get killed, go back and look at, young guys and women get killed, go back and look at the relationship they had with their parents. And you'll find out a lot about them. This commandment is about a promise. This would happen to kids if they do not honor their father and mother. Go ahead.
And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath,
Yes, sir.
but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord.
He's telling the fathers, make sure you don't provoke your kids to wrath. They call them out their name, tearing them down, disrespecting them in front of their friends. Teach them about the Word of God. Teach them more about the Word of God than you teaching them about your feelings. This is for father, because it starts with the father. If the fathers don't put the kids in the right lane, which is taking this book to them and educating them about this book, they have no chance out here in this world. And the mothers too, and not just the father. You got to educate your children. Everybody got to be educated. And that's what we fall short at. We give them all these things, shoes, clothes, cars, and all this stuff. But between them ears, nothing but the word of God. Nothing. That's the main ingredient. Main ingredient. Go ahead.
5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters,
Wait a
according
minute,
to
wait
the
a minute.
flesh.
He says, servants, be obedient to them or your masters. We ain't mastering on nothing. What are we on? What banks do we own? What land do we own? You don't even own the land that you got your house on if you pay it off. You know why? Don't pay the taxes on it. And see how much you own it. You don't even own the right to go outside this country. You know why? Because you have to get a passport to ask permission. This is the thing that people don't think about. And when it hurts us the worst, because they might slap the other nations on the hand. But us, they give us all kind of time, all kind of hurt. He says, servants, obey your master, your servants, or be obedient to them that are your masters. That's us, Israelites. We are the servants in this land. The European or the Gentiles are the masters. Or Nebuchadnezzar's sons are the masters. He giving this over to them. Go ahead.
Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters, according to the flesh,
Yes, sir.
with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Christ.
God compares us being obedient to the master just like Christ. Christ. Telling us to do this. Now don't get it twisted now. If they telling you to break God's law, you ain't gotta be obedient to that. But what's wrong with you not lying, not stealing, not committing adultery, all the things that really they got this from God, book anyway, about stealing. What's wrong with you doing what you're supposed to do in that area? It's not breaking the laws of God. But he's telling us servants, which are Israelite, to be obedient to them or your masters. Go ahead.
6. Not with eye service as men pleasers,
Yes, sir.
but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart.
What do you mean by eye service? You sit up there, yes, master, yes, I'm going to make sure I do what you tell me to do. The police officer pull you over, he give you a ticket. Oh, yes, I'm going to pay it. I'm going to pay it. 3 months down the line, you ain't even paid it. Now your license suspended. Or dealing with taxes on your house. 10 years, 2 or 3 years down the line, you ain't paid them in years. Now they come and take it away. You telling people that you're going to do these things, or your credit score in your credit score. You got these charge cards and you're charging this and that. You tell them, you give me this money, I'm going to pay you back. We don't own no charge cards. We don't own no banks. Those are our masters who own all this stuff. And then we get mad because we can't get financed for certain things. I used to get mad about that stuff like, man, I can't get nothing. Jeff, you did this stuff years ago. You jacked up your credit. Who's the fault? I wasn't obedient. He said, if you pay your bills on time, your credit score would jump up just to 700 to 800. You won't have no problem getting no money from me. But you know what Jeff said? Forget that. They shouldn't have gave me that money. And then when I got old enough and wanted to have some things, or a house or a car, I got to go get co-signers. I got to do all the financing and stuff like that. Why? Because I wasn't obedient to the master's rules. Go ahead, brother.
All right, 7. With good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men.
He said, with good will doing service as the Lord, not to men. He said, do this like you're doing it toward the Lord. Same thing. Treat it like that. He ain't telling you to break the law. Just obey what he says. This is land. Go ahead.
Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord,
Yes, sir.
whether he be bond or free.
He said, whether you slave or free, if you're doing anything good, you're going to receive it. Go ahead.
And ye masters, do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him.
God tells the masters, I'm watching you and how you dealing with the servants. And how you dealing with the servants. I got this such thing as people don't understand that you don't supposed to be in debt for more than 6 years. And on the 7th year, your master's supposed to release you. You don't supposed to have no car no 7 years, or no house no 30 years, or no charge account for 30 years that when you over, that you know, that you got a balance on. They're supposed to release that. But they don't follow the rules of the land. God said, I'm gonna deal with you, master. I told you how to do this. Go ahead.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Yes, sir. He tells us to be strong in the Lord. You got to understand the rules. That's why I titled this, Servants, Obey Your Masters. They are the masters in this land. Let's go to Colossians. Turn one book, or turn forward. Is it forward? Yeah, turn forward 2 books. Right after Philippians, Colossians chapter 4. God told the masters how to conduct themselves too. Now, he didn't leave nobody out. The people that over us, they got rules too. And God is looking at them. And they're going to be judged how they handle us. But Israel got to know how to make their walk in this earth easier. Not hard. Easier. It's going to be a little trouble to us and down, but some of this stuff that we're doing, it don't make sense. And these people just simply asking you to pay your bill. Report to your probation officer when you're supposed to report to him. Do all these things that you, man, he let you out, like a person on probation, he let you out, walk around, just report to him. Pay your bill. This is what the thing that goes down in this world that we are not talking about in the church that will help our young black people and older. These masters of us. Colossians chapter 4 verse 1. Dealing with the masters, they got a responsibility also. Go ahead.
Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that ye also have a master in heaven.
He said, Master, give unto your servant that just and equal. Give them good health care. Some of these people can't even afford the health care they got going on right now, and they are sick. They can't pay rent and lights, and they got to pay $1,000 for health care for the whole family. They're going to pay them rent and lights. They're going to deal with the rest of that later on. And sometimes it hurts them. Stop jacking up the taxes for the poor. They jack up everything. They give you a raise, and then they increase the taxes on your check. They do this stuff all the time. And you really find out how you ain't moving. People that paying bills really understand this. Like they give you a raise, then they jack up something else, or the gas, or the light bill. This is what they do. This is the game they playing. And the majority of people in this world that pay taxes are poor people. Rich folks don't pay no taxes hardly. They're on Netflix. He ain't paid no taxes, 0 taxes. Donald Trump didn't say he ain't paid no taxes. He a billionaire. This is what we got to understand. All I'm saying is the rich folks, God is watching you too now. Go ahead.
To continue in prayer and watching the same with thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
Withal, praying also for us, that God would open unto us a door of utterance.
Yes, sir.
To speak the mysteries of Christ, which I am also in bonds.
He tells us, look, we got to pray. Each one of the masters in the service, so God will open up a door. A lot of times, the white folks or the slave master, whichever way you want to say it, they see the gifts in us. They'll look at you and see what you're doing and go get a patent on what you're doing and sell it. Y'all see that about the inventions what we had in the United States when we got all those ships. These people they know we had great talent, great skill, and understanding. They just watch. And they say, hey boy, hey girl, come over here and show me that. And they say, oh, go down and get a patent on that right now. I'm gonna own that. These folks say hardly they invent nothing in this world. We invented it all. The majority. Go ahead, brother.
4. That I make it manifest as I ought to speak.
Go ahead.
Walk in wisdom toward them that are without.
Walk in wisdom toward them that are without. Go ahead.
Redeeming the time.
Go ahead.
Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
God telling the masters, and he telling us, look, man, let your wisdom, let your speech come by wisdom. Let you understand what you're saying out your mouth before you say it. And how do you get wisdom? Right here, this book. Because a lot of us come flip out the mouth, ain't no wisdom in it. And then it gets us in trouble. And the slave always gonna get in trouble. Or the servant always gonna get hit the hardest. Well, let me show you how we got in this situation of being the servants or the slaves. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Got to keep this going. Enough of playing sport. They always tell them, hey, let's get them in sports. They ain't got nothing to do. They just walking around. No, they need to get in this book. Parents need to go teach their kids about this book, who they are, especially our kids. Look, son, you can't go out there and be walking around with your hand in your pocket. You got this curse on you now, especially when you walk in the store. We need to understand that. But we don't teach our kids too much. I'm just talking about as a nation. Oh, you 18, now get out my house. Oh, you 16, now about to get out. By the time you got, no, man, you ain't taught them nothing. They can't survive out there. Let me show you how we got in this mess. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Our ancestors didn't teach us, and they started this off. And God gave us everything. When I mean everything, like the white folks had, he gave us everything. The banks, the money, everything. We had control and interest on everything. So I'm going to show you Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. You get it, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
See, a lot of people just think he's talking about everybody right here. No, he was talking about a particular people, Israel. He's going to set you above every nation. You're going to have the wall, the stock markets. You're going to have the money with your face on it. You're going to have everything. Let me show you. Keep going.
And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
This is what we get by obeying the law. And we still have a little glimmer of that today. If you obey the law. He said, blessed shall you be in the cities, blessed shall you be in the field. Whatever you're doing, you're going to be blessed. Go ahead.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground.
Yes, sir.
And the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
Everything that you have that's in your yard going to be blessed. If you have sheep, animals, and all this stuff, they're going to be blessed. Go ahead.
Blessed shall be thy baskets and thy store.
Your store going to be blessed. Whether you owning a business, whether you got a store in your house, you got food in there, you're going to have food in your pantry. I mean, everything will be blessed about you. This is what God had us at. Our ancestors was at the top of the heap. Go ahead.
6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
That don't sound like the so-called Negroes that they do it. Go ahead.
The Lord shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face.
Go ahead.
They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways.
This is what God said. If your enemies going to come up against you, they're going to be smitten. And believe me, the power of God going to be on you so much that people going to come and fight for you, and your enemy going to disperse 7 different ways, get away from you. Now, I don't want no smoke with him. He an Israelite. I don't want no smoke with him. But tell me, is that going on today? Everybody picking at us. Everybody destroying us. Why? Because of this. Jump down to verse 15. This is what we went into slavery. This is why we went into slavery. Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all